welcome to Rachel's chat room. So I'm Rachel. Today we've got a very special guest. His name is Andrew Liao. So Andrew has got 16 years of experience in the insurance industry. And prior to that, he's got about 10 years of experience in the hospitality industry. He worked in many 5-star hotels around the world, like in Switzerland, New Zealand, as well as Malaysia. So basically, Andrew has got a lot of experience in the people business. He's got a lot of people skills, a lot of valuable skills that we can learn from him today. So thank you very much, Andrew, for being with us today and sharing your secret with us. So today we want to find out from you, what is the secret of pushing people's buttons the right way? How to win people and influence people? Yes, just spill your secrets with us.
Hi, Rachel. How are you? Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me onto your platform. I think I know you about a month ago, a month or so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I really find that you are a really great person. You know.
Thank you. Likewise. Yeah. We've had so many conversations since then.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. This is the fun part. The fun part is getting to know people, getting to meet people outside. And not only that, vice versa, we get to know each other by learning about each other's success. That's how I connect. That's how I connect to people.
On that note, I remember you shared with me, I think about 90% of your clients are through referrals. That is very remarkable. It's something that not everyone can do, especially in such a tough industry. I mean, there's so many agents out there. So what makes you stand out? You know, what makes people want to refer you to their clients? You know, teach us, how do you actually trust? How do you win people over? Yep.
Yes, to be in the insurance industry actually is not easy, because currently, if I'm not wrong, there is about more than 40,000 insurance agents in the market in Malaysia. But in order for us to get to know people and able to get them to refer people to us, basically we have to win their heart. And how to do that? By providing very trustable correct informations to the client, and just be normal, just be very transparent with them. You know, and I guess transparency is something that is really good, because once your client or the person that you speak with, or you want to get to know that person, trust you, and then that's where, full stop, you actually already win their heart. And because in the insurance industry, there's so many agents actually come and go.
Right.
They come, they do a couple of years, they find that they can't enhance anymore, and then they will stop and jump to another industry. So 16 years ago, when I came into this insurance industry, I told myself one thing was, I do not want to be like the other agents. I want to be something that is good, be great to my clients, be transparent to them, so that I'm here to grow with them. The idea is to grow with them, to grow with all these people. Prior to this, as you mentioned, that yes, I was in the hospitality industry. And how do I actually get to connect with people and to work with people, to build relationship with people? Way back, I learned this thing called adaptability. And basically, I actually put myself in a way or in a position that I try to adapt to everyone.
Wow. Yes.
Okay, to try to adapt to everyone and try to win their heart. And actually, it is very easy to do that by just winning the person's heart. Basically, you already win the person, and you already adapt. You know, able to adapt to whatever the kind of situation the person is, whether is he angry, is he happy, is he or she is sad, you know, and by just doing that, you are already able to win their heart. And the minute you win their heart, okay, then you already connect to the person. Same thing when I was in the hospitality industry. I was very easy to accommodate to the guests, to the workplace people, because my mindset was to grow with them, to adapt with them. You see? So when I'm able to adapt with these people, basically I have already a mission. What is my mission? My mission is to get to know them as well as I can. You know, because working with a mission, it means that you work with a goal and you also work with passion. And passion means you don't expect anything coming back from people. You don't expect whether they're going to give you something, whether they're going to give you a gift, give you something in return. No, you don't, because that is what I call passion.
Right.
And when you have this passion, whatever you help or support or do for other people, eventually, automatically, they will actually connect
come to you. Right.
Yes, they will come to you.
A lot of wisdom in there. So a few things I picked up. First thing is being transparent. Being transparent with your clients is very important because people want that, if you can be trusted, right? So that is where you win them. And then being transparent and also being passionate about what you do, setting yourself apart from other people. So it shows that you're very serious about what you do because you don't give up easily, right? And that is when people know you are serious about what you do. So passionate and also not expecting anything in return. I think that is something we could all learn because a lot of times when we, do good to other people, we kind of expect something in return, which can be a disappointment when we didn't get that return, right? So I think, thank you so much for sharing this nuggets of wisdom with us. I think these are values that we could also apply in our daily lives. In your hotel line, I believe you met people from all walks of life, right? A lot of C-level people, difficult people, nice people, all sorts. So could you share with us an experience that really stood out to you?
Yeah, sure. I guess one of those very great person that I actually served during my hospitality industry was the late Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew.
Wow.
Okay, from Singapore. Yes, I really had a privilege. That was a really good privilege. And I was his special butler when I was working in Sunway Hotel. And that was really good. That was really good experience. And there was one occasion when I was standing there by the dining table, and he was alone, all sitting down there having his dinner. And I guess he was a bit bored. So I took the initiative, because all this you must have protocols because you are actually dealing with a very high level person, Prime Minister. So usually a lot of people would just stand there and keep quiet until the Prime Minister would call you or wanted something from you. And I asked him and I say, Mr. Minister, is that okay if I could ask you a few questions, because it's not a very frequent occasion that you can actually serve someone as high level as you are. So he said, yeah, sure, why not? I told him this and I say, but the questions that I'm going to ask you is nothing in relation to politics, about Singapore and all that. I just want to get to know you personally, and I brought the level that you must do business asking and protocols and all that to a very down-to-earth level with him. And I say, Mr. Minister, can you share with me what is something that makes you such a great person?
Great question.
What is the one thing that makes you such a great person? So this is a very neutral question. So he said, why don't you do this? Instead of you standing down there and I chat over with you, why don't you come and join me on the dining table?
Wow.
So that was how I got connected to him. That is how
and you got an invitation.
Just one question.
To the table with him.
Yes, but it was a very humble question. It was a very humble question because a lot of people, when they ask questions, they ask like very diplomatic questions. Whereas I ask a very humble question. How can you be? Can you share with me how can? Can you share with me how can I be as great as you? So I actually basically put you right on top here and I open the platform for you to teach me. The idea is to get to learn from these people. So he actually taught me something that is really great. And he says, if you want to be a people's person and to win people's heart, he shared this with me and said, just treat every person the same way you like to be treated. That's it. That's simple. And we already know that, everyone just like to be treated the way they are being treated.
Mm-hmm.
You see,
Right.
not about who is Andrew Liao, who is the prime minister, who is these people, or he must be like that, he must be like that. No, actually, the more humble you are, the more people will want to connect with you.
Right. Yes.
And when the right moment comes, you just need to be there and to need to help, by not even asking anything in return.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So I think the ultimate message from this experience is humility, right? Humility.
Yes.
And kindness. It's funny if you think about it. These are such simple things that you think that everyone know and practice, yet not everyone does the same, right? But actually, at the end of the day, the simplest things are sometimes the hardest things to do.
Right? Yes, and I learned a lot. I'll give you an example. Human, we always have value. We call it face value. Our face value. And because of this face value, that actually determines whether a person is egoistic or being humble, because it's all based on the face value.
Right.
But do you know that our face doesn't have any value at all? I'll give you an example. If you would have taken a crocodile skin or snake skin and you take it to the market to sell, at the same time, just next to the snake skin, okay, let's say Andrew Liao's face skin there, and you put it side by side, chances is people will buy the snake skin because the snake skin has a better, higher quality value, than the human face skin. So basically, I always share with people, we have to have some value, some form of value, but our value is not like in terms of dollars and cents, not in terms of monetary, but our value is how well we can actually give back to society, being gratitude. Gratitude to people, gratitude to family, gratitude to your loved ones. Those are the more, I would say, more better values that you gain as a human than rather than the dollars and cents, the money kind of value.
That's very true. I think that's a very interesting way of illustrating our true face value. It actually doesn't cost as much as crocodile skin, snake skin. Yes. I think it's very hard for a lot of people to put down their ego. I think this also requires a lot of practice, right? I think especially in your experience, both in your current industry, insurance, as well as in the hotel line, because I'm sure you've met a lot of people who had a very huge ego and they can be quite rude, very disrespectful.
Yes.
And I'm sure you've run into all sorts of different situations with your customers. So could you share with us an example of a story that really stood out to you, a really difficult customer, what the customer wanted and how you actually overcame it? Yes.
Okay. So let me share one of the example that I had with a client of mine in the insurance industry. And I tell you, this is the best story, as I say. One day I was doing direct approach. And I think that area was about Cheras area. And I came into this store. They actually sell hardware, those Chinese hardware shop.
Right.
And so there was this lady was there sitting down, and she was the boss. The boss. And I say, Madam Boss, I'm actually Andrew from Prudential Insurance Malaysia Berhad. And today we are actually here doing some servicing. Would you like to understand a little bit about our insurance product? And she mentioned, yeah, sure, why don't you sit down? So while I was sitting down, after about 10-15 minutes, the husband came back. The husband. So quietly, the husband just went to the back of the store, and he actually took out a broom. Took out a broom. So, and then he questioned the wife, and he asked the wife and said, who is this person, in a very, very stern tone? Who is this person? So the wife then say, this is Andrew, and he's actually from Prudential. I say, okay, right. The husband then say, how many times have I actually told you not to have insurance agent coming to the shop because I never trust them, I never believe in them, and I really hate them. So he then looked at me and say, I'm going to give you 5 seconds, and if you are not leaving right now, most probably that this broom will actually sweep you out of this store.
Oh my God.
So yeah, so that was pretty scary, right? But I just keep my calmness, and I just told Madam Boss, and I say, Madam Boss, it's okay. Today is not a good day for you to buy insurance. I just tell her that. I say, today is not a good day for you to buy insurance. It's okay. And I just left my name card there, and I tell her that, whenever you find that it is a good day, please give me a call.
Wow.
So, yeah. So 3 days later, Madam Boss gave me a call. And we met outside. And then she actually signed the insurance with me.
Wow.
Signed the insurance with me, yes. So I think roughly about 1.5 to 2 years later, and one day Madam Boss had a small lump, so went to hospital, and the doctor said, yeah, need to do some surgery. So Madam Boss gave me a call, and then I'll say, okay, no problem, you can use the medical card to actually admit to the hospital. So while she was in the hospital after her surgery, I actually visited her in the hospital. And at that point of time, I asked Madam Boss, I said, did your husband know that you are in the hospital? Because her husband is a person who really controls everything. He told her husband, he said, for the last 2 days, no, but finally today I'm going to be discharged. He then found out that I was in the hospital. So I said, what do you tell your husband? She actually told her husband saying that she's actually going away for 2 days with the friends on a vacation. So then the husband came to the hospital, and just nice I was at the front counter. Okay, and the husband looked at me, I look at the husband, and I just calmly say, I say, Mr. Boss, okay, your wife is in room 328, quickly go and visit her. So the husband looked at me, he just ignored me, never even say hello or anything. And he went to the room, and they were arguing. And then I could hear from outside, and the husband actually asked the wife and say, you came and do this surgery, you did not inform me. And not only that, do you know this hospital is so expensive, how can we afford to pay the bill? And Madam Boss then answered, I don't need your help because I have insurance.
Wow.
And I have insurance, and this insurance is going to pay for me. And at that point of time, the husband then realized that I'm actually a good insurance agent. So he came up to me. And because of his level of ego-ness, he just couldn't. He just doesn't know how to apologize. So he was standing in front of me. And I told him, I say, Mr. Boss, don't worry. I fully understand where you're coming from, and you don't need to apologize. I fully understand.
Wow.
And because of that actually touches his heart. And till today, occasionally they keep on referring clients to me. For the last 16 years, I would say they easily would have referred maybe 15, 20 clients to me. That's how, when you touch somebody by the heart, and they are happy to help, because they couldn't do anything else. There is nothing they can do, at that level of point, but because I'm really humble to that, being different from the other insurance agent. So this is how I win people's life.
Wow, that is such a amazing testimony. Wow, great job, man, Andrew. That is
thanks.
I think you had a lot of patience, that's for sure. And you really have a very big heart. I've got to give it to you. I mean, I don't think anyone can handle someone, wanting to kick you out, sweep you out with a broom. That is very dramatic.
It's not easy. I mean, even like those days when I first came into the insurance industry, and there are people who actually say, no, I don't want insurance, don't come and disturb me, don't bother me, And I always tell people this, and I say, if one day and you think about insurance, okay, just remember me. Put my number in on your phone, or if you have any queries about anything about insurance, you can just give me a call without any obligation. That doesn't mean that you give me a call, you must buy insurance from me. Because of 16 years in the industry, many people has called me, asked me about things. Sometimes they call me not because of insurance. They also call me and say, because you are in the insurance industry, you must know a plumber. And then I refer my client. I refer my client over to the person. Or do you know an electrician? And I will refer electrician to anyone. And because of the referral, my client get to grow his business. At the same time, my client sees that I'm referring people to them. Therefore, they refer people to me as well.
Wow.
So this is how I get connected to a lot of people. And because of that, the person who actually fixed my car is also my client. The person who sold me the car tire is also my client.
You converted everyone.
The lady who sold me this jacket is also my client.
Wow.
So as I say, business is all about being there, supporting one another. Many people think that business or doing sales, that's where you're doing sales. Sales is about selling products. No, sales is about connecting people together, and building the network.
But I'm just curious, how did you overcome it yourself using that difficult customer, but now who has turned to be like one of your greatest clients, as an example? How did you overcome it on a personal level? How did you take that rejection? Yes, I think that is key to your success, because you managed to overcome that. You could let go of what happened to you. I think that is not easy. So can you describe that?
Not easy. Yes. Actually, there's two words here that you can look into. I just learned from a master, a coach, and he says, if somebody would have reject you, is it a true rejection or is it an objection?
So there's a difference.
Many people take it as a rejection, and they put it inside their heart. They always think that, let's say a person who doesn't have a very strong mindset, they will always think that it must be me. Something is wrong with me. Because the person doesn't have a strong mindset. So when I learn from this coach and I say, true, or what he say, is it a real objection or a rejection? If it is a rejection, it's okay, move on. Don't put it inside your heart, because when you put it inside your heart, it can actually make you become very down, depressed. So what I have learned is I have learned to move on.
Right.
You see, because in sales, let's say take Malaysia, the population is about 35 million people. And then if you can get 0.001 or 0.001 people to buy insurance from you, you are already very successful already. So you don't need the 32 million people just to buy insurance with you to become successful. You see? True. So I learned how to let go. And I learned how to identify whether is it an objection or rejection. Anybody who is rejection, so what next? We put it aside. But if it is an objection, you are actually able to solve a person's objection.
Right.
I'll give you an example. Some people will ask me an objection and say, Andrew, you are an insurance agent. Tell me, why should I buy from you? I will have a script and say, Rachel, if you don't buy insurance from me, I guess who are you going to buy from?
Great comeback.
Because I will share with people, I work hard, I work with a mission, I work with passion. So if you are looking for an agent who will give you very good service, definitely is somebody who is able to take care of the person. So I say, if you don't buy from me, who else are you going to buy from?
That is true.
Because I put myself at a very high level, and because I actually put myself at a very high level, so I already set a mission to my clients. Or I already set a mission to anybody that I serve even during the hotel time. Even just to serve a cup of coffee, it must be a perfect service.
Wow.
It's not about just putting the cup under a coffee machine, press the button and just bring it to the customer's table and just serve the customer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you have to do it with style, with some finesse in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes when you just serve a cup of coffee, when you go to a hotel, you know, a waiter will just serve your cup of coffee and say, "Sir, here's your coffee."
Mm-hmm.
You know, I will tell the customer this and say, "Sir, here's your cup of coffee, and do enjoy your coffee because this will give you the energy for the day."
Wow.
And then you were like, wow. You know, and all these are free. Basically, you can learn. All these are skills. And I always tell all the people, I always share with people and say, skill is something you can learn.
Mm.
It's only whether you have the attitude to learn it or not.
Right. I think you shared something so important and so helpful. You said it's actually how you present what you serve at the end of the day, because you have to first have confidence in yourself. And also whatever you're serving to your customers, it's how you position yourself, right? I think that was a great example. Just a cup of coffee, you know, just by adding a few more lines to it would make all the difference in the world. Suddenly your coffee becomes a 5-star, you know, coffee.
Yeah, true. Some of the people who actually do service in the service industry, when they serve the cup of coffee and somebody will complain, and I cannot imagine some of the answers you actually get back. Like, oh, the cup of coffee is like that. You know, how I mean, you know, it's like that.
They definitely train under you, that's why.
they no way. They're like, the service is so bad. It's so bad. You know, you don't need to challenge the client. You know, all you have to do is you just have to say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Is that okay if I take your cup of coffee back? Let me redo one for you." Okay, so I would do that. I will definitely do that. I'll take the cup of coffee back and I'll redo it, and then I'll bring that cup of coffee back again. Sir, would you like to try this cup of coffee? Hope it is better than the previous one. You see, I already positioned the mindset that this cup of coffee, it will be better than the previous one.
Right. Yes.
So when the client actually take the coffee, customer actually take the coffee, they will feel that already their mindset is already better. So when they drink it, they will definitely like, okay lah. I think it's better.
Even if it really wasn't different, right? But because of what you said to them, they just naturally already assume that, this must be a better coffee than the previous one.
Yeah. So same thing in the insurance industry. So how I do that, and I will tell my clients this. I say, when you sign an insurance policy with me, it's not just an insurance policy. It's actually, when you sign this insurance policy with me, I'm actually taking care of you, your family, and your next coming generations.
Wow. Yes.
You know, so this is to show them that I am long in this business and I am going to be long in this business.
Right.
It's not just that you are buying from any insurance agent. You are buying from an insurance agent that, number one, has already give you the commitment that he will be there regardless. Full stop. No question they're going to ask you anymore, because you know, and he knows that you are going to stay in this industry.
Yes. And that's why your agency is called Zeneration, right? Protecting generation to generation. I think that is a very catchy and a meaningful name for your agency.
Yes. And the agency is not only also for us to maintain the sales for next generation and next generation. No, we also take care of the agents so that eventually if the agent grow up, their kids will want to come into this industry. So it's also a generation to generation in terms of helping them to do well, to do good in society.
Yes, I think. Very important.
Yeah.
To establish that this is long term.
Correct. Yes, correct. And I learned from Jack Ma. About this. We cannot conquer the world. No one can conquer the world. There's no way. Hitler, Winston Churchill, the great leaders, the prime ministers, all that, the president of the United States, no one can conquer the world. But everyone can serve the world.
That is very true. Yes.
Everyone can serve the world. And the more people you can serve in the world, the better you become.
Yes, and the more influential you become, for sure.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
very interesting, Andrew. And how about your experience dealing with your higher ups, because you dealt not only with customers, difficult customers, I'm sure your superiors then, in the hotel industry was, could be quite difficult on you too. So how did you meet them?
Yeah.
How did you meet both your customers' needs and your superiors' needs at the same time?
Actually, it's very easy. The higher level people, whether regardless is in the hotel industry or in the insurance industry, like my bosses and all that, and like my clients, the CEOs and the managing directors, actually it's very simple to deal with them.
Really? Give us the secret.
Yes. The secret is just give them what they want.
As simple as
you
that.
don't need to argue. You don't need to prove to them. If they need a financial plan, you just give them a financial plan. If they tell you they want 1 million coverage, you just give them 1 million coverage. But you learn to grow with them. First, you get them in first. Then after that, you learn to grow with them. Because business, in any form of business, is not about a one-off business. This is why I focus a lot in referrals, and it's not just a one-off business, because a one-off business is something that you buy one time and that's it.
Right.
You don't get the loyalty. The idea is how can you get your customer to become loyal to you? How are you able to provide that kind of services to people that they will be loyal to you? And this is why in my network, my clientele base in insurance, I actually have about 60% of my clients every year they repeat business with me. Wow. Means they either sign up a new insurance plan, or somebody delivered a baby, they refer to me and they sign up an insurance plan. And it's a fantastic job, because you know why? The longer you are in, the easier it becomes.
Right, that is true.
You don't have to then go out to hunt for people, to approach a lot of people, where people will give you a lot of rejections, and so I actually train my agent and say, are these objections or rejections? When people say no to you, that doesn't mean that they say no to insurance. It might not be the right time for them to buy insurance, or insurance has not came into the mind during that particular time. So we learn how to build the relationship with them.
Wow, so many nuggets of wisdom we've got from you. Thank you so much for sharing. Any final advice for viewers? Because I think your skills are just very applicable, in any industry.
Any final advice? I guess what I really learned from a lot of my coaches and all that, and I see what the younger millennials coming up, that is something is that learn to be adaptable. Be adaptable to all situations, because it's then easier to work with.
Right.
It's always easier to work with. And work with a mission. Work with a mission. Working with a mission means working with a goal and working with passion. And then never ask for anything in return.
Wow.
You're gonna start somewhere. Definitely you have to start somewhere. But it's a matter of, from here, how are you gonna bring it to here?
Yep. I think it's a lot of personal development. Thank you so much, Andrew. I think we learned so much from you. So just a quick recap for everyone. There's so many values we learned from Andrew today. So be kind, be patient, and more importantly, be adaptable. Don't expect anything in return. I think also it's important to note that yes, all this are probably easier said than done, but it can be done because Andrew has proven that it can be done. You know, it just requires humility, patience, and kindness. Basically, the basic stuff in life that we all know. We just need a reminder and also have more practice. So thank you so much once again, Andrew. It's such
Thank
a
you. Yeah, for inviting me.
Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in. This is Rachel's Chat Room. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.